I'd appreciate it if you could please go over and click on the subscribe and hit the notification so you can know next time we have something new coming on. And sorry for the interruption, but back to the show. Champlain surrenders Quebec. Samuel de Champlain established Quebec in 1608. Appreciating that site was the key to the St. Lawrence River Valley, he explored much of the country and made frequent trips to France to advance Quebec's interest. He was forced to surrender his beloved city to the English and the Iroquois in 1629, but when Canada was restored to the French hands, he came back to his post. His wife, whom he had married when he was but 12, became a nun on his death in 1635. The Surrey Puma. Surrey Puma was one of the more phantom cats, or ABCs, derived from alien big cats, reported in southwestern Surrey and an adjoining part of Hampshire from 1959 to the present year. The Surrey Puma refers to a clutch of sightings reported to police and newspapers of phantom cats, categorized into slightly larger than domestic cats, resembling Iberian lynxes, to reports of large black cats from an early stage so identified in the press and by some sighters as pumas. In the wild, barring escapees, a Pan-American genus by the mid-1960s, records included a plaster cast of a paw print less than 5 inches handed into Godalming's police station, where it was the public display piece of a minor priority big cat file that centered on damage to livestock. In 1966, black and white photographs of a larger than usual cat by a former police photographer, Ian Pert, next to a house in Warpleston. There followed an 18-year hiatus in non-testimonial allegations with corroborating evidence until a report to the police with a hair sample of a puma taken from Pease Lake in the heavily wooded part of Greensland Ridge. 21 years after this, a color video was recorded of a cat or big cat walking away beneath a branch. A Surrey Wildlife Trust officer in the local press at the time considered the animal filmed was not a Surrey Puma, as the woman recording thought, but was consistent with an Iberian lynx. Assessing this and the organization's own records of that year in its ranges, in its boroughs to the north, the borough of Guildford, this video was taken at Winksworth Arboretum, or Arboretum, Winkworth Arboretum. Busbridge, in the southwest of Surrey, the loosely corroborated sightings have been in southwestern Surrey, and one in a neighboring part of Hampshire from 1959 till about 2005. Anonymous and vague sightings in Surrey have been reported to the police, the local and national press sporadically since 1959. In 1975, an 8-year-old boy was playing alone in a woodland in Chiddingfold. The woodland backs into a field, and it was from this field that a golden-colored big cat entered the woodland. The cat walked in a westerly direction, staying close to the edge of the field. As it passed the boy at a distance of approximately 10 meters, it turned its head and stared momentarily at him, but was disinterested and carried on walking. Lucky boy. The boy named Patrick lived at a house now named Bluebells in Pockford Road. When asked if it could have been a dog, the boy replied no, because it had a long curved tail, a white head, and it picked its feet up like a cat. But it was the same size as a big dog. 1959 was the first possible sighting that was recorded in 1959, when police received a number of big cat reports in the farmhand as well as the Surrey-Hampshire border. 1962 to 1963 was two further sightings which were recorded in 1962 by a water board personnel in Hampshire, and a third in the winter of 1962-63. A cat-like beast was seen at Bushyleys Farm, Crondall, Hampshire. Was seen at Bushyleys Farm, Crondall, Hampshire. When a police officer sighted the supposed Shooter's Hill cheetah in southeast London in 1963, media interest turned to other big cat sightings. Injured livestock of a 1964 police-taken paw cast naming the Surrey Puma. This whole thing's going to be edited a lot. I had a lot of repeats here. I'm going to put it together separately from what I wrote. In August 1964, a bullock at Bushyleys Farm was found severely lacerated. Following press coverage, numerous reports of contacts with these animals, dubbed the Surrey Puma, came to the press, ranging from fanciful to some taken seriously, by the police at Godalming Police Station, 362. 362 reports were received in a 2-year period. The station, from this period, kept a cast of the 5-inch paw print on display identified as that of the puma by Ludden Zoo. Reports noted that its size implied an extremely large specimen and that there were distinct differences between it and the alleged European prints of other pumas. The investigation file was closed in the middle of summer of 1967. In August 1966, Pert took a grainy shot, which he claimed showed the Surrey Puma at Worplesdon, and a cat facing the camera and a longer than average length body. Then going to 1968 and 1970, a farmer claimed to have shot a puma, but could not provide any evidence. Sightings gradually tailed off, although paw prints found in the snow in 1970 generated a flurry of further reports. As well in 1970, Alberta History Society has a 1991 publication about the Hurtwood interviewing, 1991 publication about the about the Hurtwood, interviewing Hurtwood's controls ranger, Bob Ware, who claims several sightings. The Hurtwood spans Farley Green, Pitch Hill, Pease Lake, and Holmbury Hill. In 1984, hair samples taken at Pease Lake were identified as puma. In the previous year, an unclassified big cat dubbed Alien featured in The Archers, and Beast of Exmoor made national headlines. 1995, the Surrey Adventurer, a newspaper, reported a sighting was recorded by police officer Steve Ashcroft in 1995 outside Hilltop, St. Teresa Schools. 2003, Detective Constable Stephen Ashcroft saw the same or similar up at Holmesbury Hill in June 2003, an area with sightings logged within the following 12 months by Peter Hayes, warden of the Hurtwood, which covers the hill and the ridge to its north and west. In 2004, newspaper added residents of Abringer Commons, the neighborhood woodland and farmland area, reported that in the last 2 weeks they had seen a big cat, relying on big cat surveys by the British Big Cat Organization. 2005, we had a lynx, and Mr. Fowler visiting a partner with Winkworth Arboretum, Winkworth Arboretum sent their video camera footage to a local newspaper, which they reproduced in stills. They described this animal as gingerly brown color, about the size of an Alsatian dog, but definitely wasn't a fox. Surrey Wildlife Trust Ranger Mark Havler, having looked at this, believed it was an Iberian lynx and received 15 calls of sightings of similar in the next 2 weeks, many backdating to when the occurrence had actually happened to them. Reports that year logged as the Surrey Advertiser headquarters were of more than one non-native wildcat in the boroughs of Guildford and the neighboring districts. Some of the spot and bobtail on a sandy-colored animal suggesting a lynx. Others of a no spot and long tail, which could mean a puma. 2 resident walkers were included in the publication overview reports across the years since 1960s. The reporter interviewing the animal liaison officer, Marwell Zoo, outside of the sightings area to assess whether the old findings were linked, who explained the need for sufficient breeding pairs given these animals' lifespans, with say a 1 in 99 likelihood in ideal conditions of having multi-generational offspring. If the first alleged sightings were true, and he expressed doubt on the veracity of those reports. If there are black pumas living in the wilds nowadays, they will be 2nd or 3rd generation animals. So to keep this recessive gene in the wild here is unlikely, especially in Surrey. However, lynxes and pumas are a possibility. It would take 6 to 8 animals living in the same area to keep a species line going. The report states from 1964, it reported the first appearance of the golden brown animal of around 3 to 5 feet in length, while he was blackberrying one lunchtime, according to George Wisdom. In closing, I'd like to say that the evidence seems extreme. There's something there. And I've also heard of reports in a few different sources that have mentioned that all the ABCs in the England area, possibly other countries where they shouldn't be. I know in some of the Americas, there are some conditions of them. And what it is there's been conditions like in Americas where animals have escaped from zoos during natural disasters, that's in hurricanes. New Orleans lost a lot of animals. Then you also have in England, there was a period where they suddenly created a fine or a tax, or however you wish to see it, but they would charge you for your exotic animals. So a lot of people, to save the huge amounts of money, went out and released them. Also, I have a report of a zookeeper one time from the London Zoo who was retired that stated he knows for a fact that during a time period when tens were down, costs were up, and they were trying to find a way to make the zoo there in London viable, they let some animals out, took them away from town and let them go because it cost too much to keep, and they would have also had to pay the taxes on it. So I think it's actually obvious that that's probably what it is. It's possible you've got a new species breeding out there, a hybrid between a couple species. As said in Jurassic Park, life will find a way. Thank you for your time. I know this was a long one, and I appreciate you watching. Please subscribe and notify so I can get you every time. We'll be getting these going again. That's the plan. I know we haven't been able to do a few, but we've been having some difficulties back here at the studio, so. But everything should be good now. And thank you. I've even got some help. So I'll talk to you guys later and have a good day.
Hello, and if you've enjoyed some of our work that you've seen here, please do me a favor and click there over on Patreon corner, and you can become a patron, and for like $1 a month you can give me input on anything that you think would be good to continue on. So we do so much different things, and it's hard to see what people want to see next, so become a contributor as well as have an opinion on what we do next. Thank you.
So let's see here, we're working on second day of play on comic book game. Chair creaky, sound creaky.
Yeah, she's about to get into her car.
She gets in her car, drives off, flips you off.
Yeah, is that your age, IQ, or number of white parents?
So, what do you do?
Start walking away to my driver.
Okay, I should ask you, where are you parked?
I'm parked out.
Here's like a little map. Here's the radioactive company, medical labs, parking lot, intersection. There'd be another street over here. This is the church across the street, and this is where you guys had the interview.
He's just parked right over, not too far away from there.
Okay.
I'm just walking away, staying away from the.
Make it intuition roll.
83.
Okay. You just noticed someone at the bus stop that looks like someone you saw back when you were in the hospital with the experiments going on. Just kind of like looking like and go back to ignoring everything going on. What do you do?
Warn him about it.
Oh, warn him? Watch out for that guy at the bus stop?
Because he.
Could do
Doug
something
pulls
bad.
up.
By the way, my name is Violet. I work over at the labs.
you ever seen any of the monsters she was saying?
She just drove off.
I mean, other than her.
What are you guys talking about?
Nothing. I'll be in the car soon.
Well, I had some stuff I had to pick up.
Oh.
Here, I'll give you the tickets, and I'll meet you at the circus.
Okay.
Here's your ticket for both of you. So both tickets.
I could be so mean right now.
What you doing? She jumped up on my leg on the way up.
I know there are creatures like that she's been describing, but they're not loose.
Really? None of them got loose, huh?
Not that I know of.
Is there a way you can find out?
Yeah.
Question is, are you going to tell me?
Question is, are you gonna believe that crabby bitch over there?
I'd rather believe you than her.
Okay then. Here's my number.
Thank you. Call me if you find any information.
Roll
Or I'll
intuition
call.
check.
I will call you and see if you found any information.
87.
Okay. I should have checked on the map. You know, you should mark on here. Well, we've established where your home is, but if you have a separate home, we should establish probably where that is. We'll assume it's in the same residential area as everyone else right now. Make it
Okay.
easy.
Sounds good.
Woodrow,
87.
what's your intuition?
Typical.
Well, that's still a green. When you get in the car over here, right behind the swamp, you saw something roughly man-shaped run by.
Hey.
Hey, she's hanging you.
Yeah. What's going on?
Follow me.
Sounds good to me.
You guys are heading that way? Okay. Heading off towards as you head towards the swamp area, the forest at the edge of the swamp, you see signs saying, you know, private property, do not cross. Have you said anything yet to them, or what do you guys do?
Just keep following me.
Alrighty.
Okay. Well, you finally get over there to the edge? Both of you guys make intuition checks.
I would have. Thank you.
Bitch, kitty.
85. She's going, but it's my place to play.
96.
Okay. And what'd you roll?
80.
85.
Okay, yeah.
Okay. I think he starts with a higher intuition. Excellent. A yellow. Typical. It's a green. So, you guys don't see anything, but because you got yellow, you do hear noise coming from deeper in.
Keep going in.
Okay. You guys both need rolls again, so you can keep tracking.
99.
That's a
73.
yellow. That's a green. Okay. It's been about, approaching like 10 minutes in. Finally, you start seeing it looks like it's breaking over into like a watery area. And you hear a splash. A big old splash in that area.
I go check it out.
Okay. Get over there, look around. Yeah, it's a big old splash, and it looks like an alligator swimming away.
I guess she was right.
Well, so it's just an alligator out there, huh?
Yep.
Well,
But we can keep looking if you want.
No, we'd like you guys to leave. It's a couple soldiers. Looks like they got the Mario and all this stuff made up for, like, they're doing war maneuvers or something.
Sorry, I was just checking out the area.
Yeah, well,
My boss wanted me to check it out. I work at the lab.
oddly enough, they hired us to check it out.
I'm investigating missing animals.
Okay. Well,
Yeah,
head out.
yeah, we'll leave.
okay. Both of you guys roll percentage dice.
eight.
62.
Okay, with a 62, you'll notice that there's two people, military dress. Look like it says Fort Maxwell, and a guy in some kind of armor. It's not big armor. It's more like, you know, at best like Star Trek Stormtrooper armor. It's not like, you know, Iron Man armor. So, but it seems to be form-fitting to their body. And you guys head out. Okay, you guys head out to the parking lot. What do you do? They stop at the edge of the jungle, or the swamp. They don't follow you out. One's calling in, and as you start heading back to the parking lot, Karen steps out.